Hi everyone, Monisha here. In this video, I'll be explaining the basics of angles, degree and radian, the meaning of it. So these are the basic formulas which we are using to solve the trigonometric functions and the chapters. Because of this corona pandemic, they have reduced some of the topics from your syllabus, where exercise 3.2 will not be there. So rest of the problems we can solve it in the upcoming videos. So in this video, I have included only the basics of the angles, degree and radian by which formula we can calculate all the trigonometric functions and the problems. Let us move on to the main session. Angles and their measures. In plane geometry, an angle is defined as a figure formed when two rays meet at a single point. So when two rays meet at a specific point, which is called as a single point, is specified as vertex. Furthermore, angle measures are limited to values between 0 degree and 180 degree. In trigonometry, an angle is generated by a ray rotating about a point. One side of the angle rotates about a common endpoint and the other side remains stationary. The stationary ray is initial side of the angle, and the rotating ray is a terminal side. Angles may be negative or may measure greater than 180 degree. I will tell you how it happens. A ray. First we have to know what is a ray. A ray or half line from V to right hand side. So a ray or half line is that portion of a line that starts at a point V on the line and extends indefinitely in one direction. The starting point V of a ray is called as the vertex. So from V to right hand side is considered as a straight line or a half line or a ray where this V point is the vertex. If two lines are drawn with the common vertex, they form an angle. One of the rays of an angle is called initial side. That is where the line starts, and the other where it rotates is said to be terminal side. So we can see here vertex, initial side and terminal side. So one side is initial and the side is terminal. Next, the main thing we have to keep it in mind is the positive angles and the negative angles. Positive angles are generated by counterclockwise rotation and negative angles are generated by clockwise rotation. So the way the clock rotates is said to be clockwise, and the way the opposite of the clock rotation is said to be counterclockwise or anticlockwise direction. So when they are counterclockwise or anticlockwise direction, then it will be positive angles, and when there are clockwise direction, then it is considered as negative angles. You can see the clear picture of initial side, vertex and terminal side. From vertex, the straight line initial side and the other one is terminal side, and the angle which created by it is alpha. So since here in counterclockwise direction the angle is moving, then it is positive angle, that is opposite to clock rotation. So here terminal side, initial sides and vertex, you can see here the arrow mark in red color. So it is moving in clockwise direction, the way the clock moves. So it is said to be a negative angle. Clockwise rotation, negative angle. Next it is counterclockwise direction, as I already told you. So it is in the direction, the red line is in the direction, the angle is in the direction opposite to the clock rotation. So then it is said to be counterclockwise or a positive angle. An angle theta is said to be in standard position if its vertex is at the origin of a rectangular coordinate system and its initial side coincides with the positive x-axis. So an angle theta, the position of the angle theta is said to be a standard position if the vertex, we know what is the vertex, is at the origin point. Origin is O. So origin point of the rectangular coordinate system and the initial side coincides with the x-axis. So when the vertex is at O of the coordinates and when the initial side is almost traced onto the x-axis, then the position of theta is said to be in standard position. Angles are commonly measured in two things. One is degrees and the one is radians. The angle formed by rotating the initial side exactly once in counterclockwise direction until it coincides with itself. That is 1 revolution. The complete rotation is said to measure as 360 degree abbreviated. So the angle formed by rotating the initial side exactly once in the counterclockwise direction until it coincides with itself. The complete 1 revolution is said to be 360 degree. 1 degree is given as 1 degree, which is also equal to 1 by 360 revolution. A right angle is an angle of 90 degree or 1 by 4th revolution, and a straight angle is an angle of 180 degree or half revolution. So 1 degree is 1 by 360 revolution, 90 degree is 1 by 4 revolution, and straight angle 180 degree is half revolution. So these are some of the degree measures: 360 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, 420 degree, minus 30 degree, and minus 420 degree. You can see it is in the clockwise direction. When the rotation is happening in clockwise direction, that will be signified as minus, negative angle. So it is given as minus 30 and minus 420. And rest of it is going in counterclockwise direction, opposite to that of the clock rotation. So it is signified in a positive sign. So vertex 90 angle is 90 degree angle is 1 by 4th revolution, initial side and terminal side. So this line shows 90 degree and it is 1 by 4th of the revolution in a complete circle. So this is 180 degree. We know that in a protractor the 180 degree, which is half a revolution of the complete circle. So the vertex will be exactly center. One is initial side always traces the x-axis, and terminal side. So this is 180 degree half revolution. So this is minus 135. Why? Why? Because the red color arrow mark shows the direction of the clock rotation. So when it is in the clock rotation, it is given in negative sign. This is minus 135 degree. 1 minute is denoted as 1 dash is defined as 1 by 60 degree. So 1 degree, we have to keep it in mind. 1 degree is equal to 1 by 360 revolution, where 1 minute is given as 1 dash. It is 1 by 60 degree. 1 second denoted as 1 double dash is defined as 1 by 60 second or 1 by 3600 degree. So these are the things we have to keep it in mind for the problem solvation part. So 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 degree and 1 second is equal to 1 by 60 second. Sorry, 1 by 60 minute or 1 by 3600 degree. So 1 counterclockwise revolution, that is 360 degree, is 60 minute is equal to 1 degree and 60 second is equal to 1 minute. So this is one of the example for converting this. Convert 30 degree, 12 minutes, 55 seconds to a decimal in degrees. So we have to convert this sum into decimal in degrees. So 30 degree, since we have to keep it in degrees itself, there is no need of changing 30 degree, plus 12 minute is there. We know that 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 degree. Therefore 12 minute is equal to 12 into 1 by 60 degree plus 55 seconds. So 55 seconds, 1 second is equal to 1 by 3600 degree. Therefore 55 seconds is equal to 55 into 1 by 3600. So after calculating all these things, we will get a decimal point of 30.21528 degree. So after decimal point, only 2 digits is required for this. So this is the way of converting any points into a degrees, any decimal points, any degrees into a decimal points. So one thing we have to keep it in mind. 1 minute is equal to 1 by 60 degrees and 1 second is equal to 1 by 3600 seconds. Now, consider a circle of radius r. Construct an angle whose vertex is at the center of this circle called central angle and whose rays subtend an arc on the circle whose length is r. The measure of such an angle is 1 radian. So, the vertex is at the center of the circle called as central angle and whose rays subtend an arc on the circle whose length is r. So this type of measure is said to be 1 radian. So here s is equal to r from x-axis to the point where the radius r is there, that is said to be theta is equal to 1 radian. 1 radian is the measure of central angle theta that intercepts an arc as equal in length to the radius of the circle. So the arc S is also equal to radius of the circle. At that time we will get a central angle, and that is said to be 1 radian. In small point we can say it as S. The arc is equal to the radius. Up to that we consider it as the central angle as 1 radian. So that is 1 radian when the arc and the central angle radius is equal. That is 1 radian. Radian measures. First one is -1 radian, since the radius of the circle and the arc is 1, and since it is moving in a clockwise direction, it is -1 radian, and 1.5 radian. And third one is -1/2 radian. So these are the radian measures. Theorem arc length. For a circle of radius r, a central angle of theta radians subtends an arc whose length is s. So s is the arc length and r is the radius of the definite circle, and theta is the radian, which is given by the formula s is equal to r theta. So there is a simple method of finding out this. Find the length of the arc of a circle of radius 4 meter subtended by the central angle of 2 radians. So here we need to find out the length of an arc. Length of an arc is given by s. The formula is s is equal to r theta. The radius of the circle is 4 meters and the radians angle is, the central angle is 2 radian. So 4 2s are 8 meters. So the arc length is equal to 8 meters. This is the way of finding out the length of an arc s. 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians. We know that pi is equal to 180 degree and a straight line, that is half a revolution, is considered as 180 degree. So if pi is equal to 180, half a revolution, then full revolution, that is 1 revolution, is equal to 2 pi radians. So 2 into pi is 360 degree. 180 degree is equal to pi radians. So 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian, and 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degrees. So these are the few things you had to keep it in mind in order to solve the problems properly. So 1 revolution is equal to 2 pi radians. Half a revolution is equal to pi radian, where pi radian is equal to 180 degree. Another one important thing is 1 degree is equal to pi by 180 radian, and 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi degree. So here a small problem is there, that is convert 135 degree into radians. We know that in order to convert degree into radians, it will become pi by 180. So 135 into pi by 180. So when we cancel it by the factor 5, then we get 3 by 4 pi radians. So another one question is convert -2 pi by 3 to degrees. First we converted degree to radian. Here we need to convert the radian to degree. So -2 pi by 3 into, here if we have to convert radian to degree, then we have to multiply it with 180 by pi. So -2 pi by 3 into 180 by pi, pi get cancels. So we will get, by calculation we will get it as 120 degrees. Suppose an object moves along a circle of radius r at a constant speed. Up to here speed was not considered, but here we need to consider speed also. If s is the distance traveled in time t along this circle, then linear speed v of an object is defined as v is equal to s by t, where s is the distance traveled and t is the time taken to travel that much of distance. So it has been followed by a certain speed, and if we need to calculate that certain linear speed, then it is given by s by t, that is distance by time. As the object travels along the circle, since it is traveling along a circle, there will be a certain angle for that. Suppose that theta measured in radians is the central angle swept out in time t. Then the angular speed, so if the theta is taken into consideration, then we have to consider it as angular speed w or omega, it is considered as omega of this object is an angle measured in radians swept out divided by elapsed time, that is omega is equal to theta by t. So angular speed v is equal to s by t, and this measured in radians by an elapsed time. So angular speed omega is equal to theta by t. Linear speed v is equal to s by t. Angular speed omega is equal to theta by t. I hope you understood this. So S is equal to R theta is the formula for the radians and arc length and also the central angle if three of the things are taken into consideration. So if we divide throughout by T, S by T is V and theta by T is omega. So V is equal to R omega is the derivation we got from this. S by T is the linear speed and theta by T is the angular speed. So linear speed is equal to R. R will be the radius of the circle into angular speed. V is equal to R omega. I hope you understood this. So next is a relationship between radian and real numbers. So you have to look through this diagram which is shown here, figure 3.5. Here AP represents positive real number. Here this PQ is the tangent and OA is the radius of the circle. You can see the circle with the radius OA, and that is 1 centimeter or 1 meter. We can consider it as centimeter itself. So here a tangent is also drawn to the circle, that is PQ. So the tangent intersects the radius of the circle at a certain point O. Okay, so this is the construction of this, where here AP. So AP represents positive real numbers and AQ represents negative real numbers. So if we rope the line AP in anti-clockwise direction, means it is opposite of the clock rotation. Okay, so anti-clockwise direction along the circle, and AQ is in the clockwise direction, then every real number will correspond to the radian measured and conversely. Thus, radian measures and real numbers can be considered as one and the same. So if we bend that AP line to anti-clockwise direction and bend this AQ line to clockwise direction, what happens? Both of it will make a certain angle inside the circle. So it will, if it creates an angle, means it is a radian, and this radian in one side it will be anti-clockwise, so it shows positive, and another side it will shows a clockwise, so it is a negative. So positive, negative with a zero called real numbers. Therefore, radian measure and real numbers is considered as same. This is the relationship between radian and real number. Next is a radian and degree measure. So radian measure, the limitation of degree measurement requires another circular measure which is radian. So we already studied about this radian. The angles subtended at the center of the circle by an arc are equal to length of the radius, and that is 1 radian. So radian measures are given in various forms. First diagram shows 2 radian, next is 3 radian, next is 3.6 radian. So how do we determine the radian measures given by the arc length and the radius of the circle? So that is the central angle which makes a complete curve, and it will be an angle formed by that. Radian measure in general if the length of an arc is S units and the radius of the circle is R units, then the radian measure theta is equal to S by R. That is, the size of the angle theta is given by the ratio of the arc to the length of the radius. For example, if S is the arc length is 3 cm and radius of the circle is 2 cm, then theta is equal to S by R. 3 by 2 is equal to 1.5 radians. So here theta is 1.5 radian. So relationship between radian and degree. So first we got to know about the relationship between radian and real numbers, which is considered as same. Both are same. So in the same way, the relationship between radian and degree measures, we had to find it out. So consider the angle theta in a semicircle of radius r as shown below. Then S is equal to half into 2 pi r, which gives you pi r. And theta is equal to S by R, pi r by r get cancelled, so pi radians. So we can conclude it as theta is equal to 180 degree, pi radians is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi and 1 degree is equal to pi by 180. So this is a relationship between radian and degree, so which is very, very important. So 1 radian is equal to 180 by pi and 1 degree is equal to pi by 180, the reverse form of it. So this is the conversion between radian and degree. Degree to radian, pi by 180. Radian to degree, 180 by pi. So radians compared to degrees. Radians, the radian is a fixed measure of a circle. There are 2 pi radians in a circle because a complete circle makes 360 degree and 2 pi is equal to 360 degree. Whereas degrees, there are 360 degrees in a circle. We already know that 2 pi is equal to 360. There are 360 equal parts of a circle. Thus, this is an arbitrary number, makes working with a circle measurements easy. Converting radians and degrees, we already know that degree to radian 180 by pi and radian to degree pi by 180. So, this is the conversion derivation. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r and 2 pi r is equal to 360. Full circle is 2 pi r by r, where r get cancels. We will get 2 pi radians, that is 360 degree. So 2 pi radian is also equal to 360 degree. 1 radian is equal to 360 by 2 pi and 1 radian is also equal to 180 degree by 2 pi. So 360 by 2 pi is also equal to 180 by pi, where 2 divides 360. So this already we get to know. So each and every degrees, if we calculate, we can form a table for this. And I have included an example problem, pi by 7 and 1.5. You can take a note of these two things. And example 2, 27 degree and 114.5 degree to radians, you have to calculate by using the degree to radian and radian to degree measures. So these three are an activity for you people. You can even calculate and comment me in the comment section. And also these are very important problems. I hope you understood the difference and meaning of angle, degrees and radians. So these concepts are very important, since trigonometric functions are mainly based on these angles, radians and degrees. So I hope you understood this. If you have any doubts or queries, please comment me on the comment section below. Thanks for watching my videos. Thank you.